What's up guys, TC here and welcome to Starbound 1.2 update, and I am so excited to show you guys this new update. It has brought a whole lot of new stuff to the table and it's really exciting. It's really kind of revitalized the game, and there's a whole bunch of new content and I cannot wait to show it off. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So the premise, or well I guess the main meat of this update are the ancient vaults, and so that's actually where we are right now. These ancient vaults are an in-game activity only, so I guess I should go ahead and say without warning, there are going to be lots of spoilers in this. If you haven't beat the game, now's your chance to kind of check out. So, with that being said, this is an in-game activity only, something you're only going to access once you've beaten the final boss in the game. And so we're going to jump over real quick, and I'm going to show you how to access this stuff. I'm going to show you lots of other cool stuff, because pretty much everything revolves around these ancient vaults, the stuff you get in them. So I'm going to show you guys how to get there, what you want to know, and how to beat these things. Alright, and we are back, and we are out at the outpost right now, and once you have beaten the game, you're going to notice there's actually a brand new character at the outpost. And this little ancient looking dude here. Now right now, my character is a little bit bugged because I beat the game before this update, but this is where all my stuff is, so he's not going to quite work how he's supposed to. But if you interact with him, he'll say, well right now, he said the time will come for you, but you're not ready yet. But once you've beaten the game, you can talk to this guy, and he's basically like a little, what's the word? He basically buys and sells stuff. But more or less what he sells are these ancient keys. So let me pull one up for you. Where's it at? Here it is. So you're going to see a vault key, right? So I have two of them right here. And he'll sell you these keys for usually like, it's pretty much a laundry list of stuff, but it's usually like monster drops. So like venom samples or ice cores, stuff like that. You can get them from Fluffalo, or you have to go kill a bunch of monsters on the planet. But he's going to ask for quite a few of them, 10, 20, 30, whatever. But you get a vault key. And this is going to allow you to access the ancient vaults. So, real quick, I'm going to show you how to access the vaults. And I think they actually did a genius job on reusing an asset in the game that's been there, and it's been kind of weird having it there. So, many of you guys might remember early on, well, I mean, when the game released, the way you kind of start the game off is there's like a little portal on the first planet you go to, right? And that's how you get to the outpost, more or less. And these little gates that here at the end of the system, they didn't have a use anymore. And so Chucklefish has actually repurposed these gates at the edge of these systems to more or less act as an in-game only activity. So now, once you've beaten the game, you can start trading in these vault keys, and it's going to allow you to access the ancient vault. So whenever we go out to this gate here, you're going to see it's going to let us, we're going to be able to use an ancient vault key to open the vault. Now, these vaults are super cool. They are randomly generated. They're themed, so they're like poison theme, fire theme, ice theme, electric theme. They've got all kinds of crazy monsters in them. They're actually tier 7, so they're stronger than any gear or items you have. So it's a very, very hard challenge. And at the end of it, there's actually a randomly generated boss at the end of this each one of these things, and they're like big mazes. Like they really are just they're really, really cool. So I'm going to actually hop down and show you guys real quick. There's really just no better way than to just show you. So you guys probably remember early on, these things here used to be how you get to the outpost, but they're kind of obsolete now because they're on the starter planet. So Chucklefish did a really, really smart decision and repurposed these things. So you interact with it, Vault Gate Console. So I have two keys, so I'm going to go ahead and activate it. Pops open, and we are going to enter the vault. Now these vaults stay open for 30 minutes, right? So if you die in here, you have within 30-minute window to get back in and get your stuff. So here we are inside of a vault. You're going to see there's all kinds of like weird messages and stuff written here. I think some of it's been decoded on Reddit, so if you want to get in on that, you can decode some of it. Each one has their own little thing. I'm not sure which one this is, but you'll see that there are monsters, there's all kinds of stuff. These things look so cool, but obviously the monsters are much stronger. Like I'm using in-game armor and everything right now, so like if you look at my armor, you'll see I'm actually using the perfect armor set. And I'm actually using also a new weapon here. So this is actually called the, what is it called? The Doom Cannon. This is probably the only brand new weapon in the series, or in the game. But it actually has a really cool status effect. It's called Doom Effect, and pretty much whenever you hit somebody, you're going to see they're going to glow red. And if you shoot them again within 7 seconds, you'll see they actually have like an explosion effect on them. So this is, I think, the only like brand new weapon that's in the game. But yeah, it's very, very cool. And as you go through here, you're actually going to notice that I'm actually picking up these little star things. And these are very, very important. This is like one of the biggest aspects. So this is a brand new in-game currency. It's called Essence. So you'll see it sits down here where your pixels are. So right now I have 211,000, and you actually are going to want to collect a lot of this stuff. It's very, very important to get as much of it as you can, because a lot of the stuff in the end game revolves around having this essence. So as you can see, these vaults here, they're randomly generated. you'll never encounter the exact same vault more than once, and you can basically, yeah, you'll see these things are very, very cool. They're very dangerous. Just like look at how crazy this stuff is. There's all kinds of different monsters, different obstacles and traps and stuff in here. I actually haven't gone through too many of them myself, but you'll see. I'm going to try to work my way through here, and actually I'm just going to kind of rush through and see if I can find the boss, because that's what I really want you guys to see. The bosses are absolutely amazing. They're by far the hardest bosses in the game, and they're randomly generated. So there it is. All right. So this one's kind of we got kind of lucky here. So you'll see if we get to the end here, you're actually going to look over here. You see this little guy hovering here inside this room. These guys are randomly generated. So you're going to notice each one, when you come to these, they're going to be a different color theme. They're going to have a different head. They're going to have different weapons. So this one here has a pick. And I think this is like a fist. I think he shoots some kind of blast out of here. Now I'm going to be using some overpowered weapons to beat this guy, because these are really hard bosses. And I'm not, I'm playing in admin mode. But when you go in here, each one of these bosses, they're always different. They've got tons of attacks. As you whittle down their health, they start doing new attacks. And obviously the weapons they have change their strategies, and sometimes even the actual arena you fight in has built-in weapons. Like I've seen some that have spikes that pop out of the floor that you have to damage him with. Sometimes they generate shields that you can't hurt them until you knock the shield down. And you also see they actually have their own names. Hityrope. Oh, I actually haven't seen this one before. This is crazy looking. So as you can see, I'm nailing this guy here. This one's not super strong. As you can see, I actually did a decent chunk. I had one earlier that had a crazy amount of health. It was insane, actually. So this one here is not too crazy. We'll actually be able to whittle this one down, but I want you to see some of these attacks. So he's doing this punching attack for now. And he does that little thing where he shoots at the ground and summons those spikes, but he's actually going to do some more here. Once I think we get him down to like half health, he'll change his attack to something else. I'm going to see if I can use some different weapons here. Do these do any different? Something else important to point out in this update that's changed is monsters actually now have elemental resistances and weaknesses. So that means things like if you go to an ice planet, the monsters there are going to be able to resist ice attacks. So you're going to want to basically carry multiple weapons, or at least of different elements. Ooh, I wonder if I can do this. Oh yeah, this the evil eye thing I showed off in one of my earlier episodes. This thing's really good because you really don't have to aim anymore. You can just kind of chill here. Actually, it's not doing that much, but as you can see here, he's actually summoned 2 little guards. And yes, we should probably take these guys out real quick. Let's see, do I have a, here you go, I've got this thing. Yeah, he'll summon guards, and this is what I love about it, is these new bosses, these randomly generated bosses, are already better than the ones they made, like, for the story. Like, I love it so much. They're so much more difficult, they're so much stronger, and they actually, like, they're more, like, sporadic, like, they're harder to predict, because each time you go into one of these boss matches, they do different stuff, so you never know what you're going to get. I've actually found one that has, like, he basically creates 2 minions and he tethers them together, and you can't kill one of them unless you kill the other one. So it's definitely some cool stuff. Obviously, I'm not playing because it's hard for me. I'll be honest with you guys. It's hard for me to do commentary and focus and not look like a noob. So I'm kind of using admin mode right now just because I'm trash. But I want to show everything off, and some of you might have noticed, if you're one of the more astute viewers, you'll notice that some of the weapons I'm using look a little bit different than they used to. Like the Evil Eye here actually has some graphical upgrades, and so that's another thing that it's really important about these vaults is that basically these vaults, like the whole point of them is they allow you to upgrade weapons. So you can basically take any weapon you have in the game and you upgrade it to tier 6. So you can take a weapon you found on the first planet and you can actually upgrade it to the last tier. So no more having to throw away weapons that you really like. So we beat the guy, he does this little animation, and he explodes. And the best part is he actually throws out a ton of this essence stuff, and actually really, really great right there. We got it on camera. I actually haven't gotten it on camera yet. You'll see he actually dropped a little item there. This is a steamy microformer. Now that sounds kind of strange, but basically the other thing you get from these vaults are you get terraformers. Now these allow you to terraform entire planets to entirely different biomes. You can turn any planet into any other planet for the most part. Now there are 2 main types of terraformers. The first one's the one I'm going to show you here. You can basically buy them. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, is you got to know what you kind of want before you go in. So here we have a dark terraformer, icy terraformer. They cost a ton of essence. These cost 3,000 each, and they cost some like 50 venom samples. This one costs more venom samples. Where's some? Here you go, 50 static cells. So you're going to want to go into these things with lots and lots of resources, because you're going to want to be able to buy these at the end, and you're not going to be able to come back here. Once you leave, you can't come back to the same one. You have to beat another one. So now that there's a difference here, you'll actually notice that these are terraformers for the whole planet, and I want to show you real quick. There are main terraformers that do the whole planet, and then there are sub-biome ones. So these do pretty much as you have to fuel these terraformers with essence, right? The big ones do entire planets, right? And now the small ones do sub-biomes. So like all the little weird stuff like wilderness biomes or slime biomes that aren't, you don't find wilderness planets, you find wilderness sub-biomes, right? Whereas you find like mutant planets. So the big ones here you can buy, but the small ones like what we just got there are actually a drop. They have a pretty low drop chance from the bosses, so, and also they're random, so there's really no way to get them, so they are extremely valuable. The small ones are one-time use, so once you've set them off, they're going to change that biome, and then you can't pick them back up again. The cool thing is the big ones, you can reuse them over and over again. All it does is it takes essence to power them. So we're going to show those off in just a second. I'm going to show all this stuff off actually. But again, I want to get to this other thing I was talking about before I beat that boss. This update allows us to upgrade weapons, and this is something that really drove me nuts early on when the game released, is that you would find a lot of these like really cool custom pre-generated weapons early on, and as you advance through the game, yeah, they offloaded some of the damage to your armor, so as you upgraded armor, the weapons would get better, but there was just no comparing, level 6 and 7 weapons to tier 1 and tier 2 weapons. Like, they just couldn't keep up. And so now, Chucklefish has done a really smart job here. They've given us a way to upgrade our old weapons to tier 6, and they've actually given them brand new skins and everything. So now you're going to find this thing here. It's called it's actually called the Ancient Anvil, and when you open it, it's going to allow you to every weapon in your inventory that's upgradable, it's going to show on this list here, and you're going to be able to go through it. So you'll see here, these are some of the ones I'm carrying, and you can pretty much, I want to show you some of the old variants with the new variants. So for instance, here's the old pollen pump. You'll see that, and then the new one, it's actually got this kind of slight green to it. You'll see the old Urkius eye without the, like it's got the like glass on it when you upgrade it. And so all it does is these, when you upgrade it to the new tier, it upgrades its damage. Now, something I should point out is that these things are based on level. So what that means is, like, say I take a tier 1 weapon and I'm trying to upgrade it to a tier 6, it's going to cost more essence than upgrading a tier 5 weapon to a tier 6, because you're only jumping up one level, you see. But anyways, I want to show you some more of these like differences. Here's the old tentacle gun, and here's the new one, slightly different. They don't have any new, they don't like have completely different animations, but you'll see they do have new skins. So you'll see this one here actually has got the red to it now. We have the gnome gun actually gets one. It actually now has a little crown. So you see, it's actually really cool. I love this because some stuff like the Ixodoom Claw, like I love hammers, but you basically couldn't use this after the second level, and so now you upgrade it to this new darker Ixodoom Claw, and they do a lot more damage, and now every weapon in the game is now a viable weapon, and so they've really done a great job on this update, on really making a new endgame for us to do, a brand new endgame currency, a way to upgrade all of our weapons. So now there's no more having, like, any weapon you find early on, save it. You don't have to get rid of it. You can upgrade it later, and you can get one of your favorite weapons back. So we are going to hop over to a planet real quick, and we are going to have some fun terraforming. So I can't wait to show this off. Okay, guys, and we are back. We are hovering over a ice planet right now. So say I like this planet, and I feel like I want to live here forever, but I hate the cold winters. It feels like Canada up here. So I want to change this planet into a different biome. So all you would do is you take one of your handy-dandy terraformers. Say I like it really, really warm, so we're going to go with a Volcanic Terraformer. Plop it down, and then all you do is you interact with it, and you're going to see it's got this little bar here to fill out your essence meter here. I'm not entirely sure how much essence it costs total, because I think different planet sizes cost different amount of essence. But one thing to point out is you cannot terraform the entire planet in one go. So what you do is you grab this, pull it all the way as far as it'll let you, and you click terraform, and you're going to see it turns on, and you're going to notice here after a couple seconds the planet is actually going to start changing. And this changes everything about the planet. Like, it changes the foreground, and after you've terraformed over half the planet, you can actually change the background. Now, I was told that you have to pick this thing up and move it around a little bit to terraform the entire planet, but I haven't actually experienced that myself, so I'm not sure how true it is. If you do terraform and you notice it didn't get apart, the big ones here, you can actually pick them up and take them and move them around. So any second now, this foreground should start changing into a volcanic biome. And it's pretty cool, actually, because like you start getting some weird combinations of foregrounds and backgrounds that you're not used to getting. And these terraformers, they change the primary aspects. Like, they'll change the weather. They change the, there we go. So as you can see, it's literally, it takes the exact terrain and just converts it into this new terrain. It will not overwrite any of your buildings. It only overwrites generated stuff. So anything you made, it won't mess with it. So you can put this on your planet and turn it on, and it's still going to, it won't mess with your stuff. So let's see how far it's actually terraformed. We didn't do much, so I can't imagine it's going to go too far. Well, it seems to have gone pretty far. I'd like to get it on camera changing the background, because that's a really cool bit when it changes. It might have turned off. I'm going to get it over half. But like I was saying, though, what's cool about this is it allows you to get planets. It keeps the tier, right? So if you go to like a tier 6 planet and you convert it into a jungle, jungles aren't normally tier 6, but now this jungle is tier 6. So what it does is it keeps the gravity of the planet, it keeps the level, but it changes the biome. So you're going to get new monsters, you're going to get new weather, you're going to get a new background eventually if you eventually... Here we go. So we'll keep terraforming up, terraforming in progress. And actually, once we finish this one here, I actually want to show you guys the small ones. These ones I actually really love. These are much more valuable in my opinion, because these things you only have to buy... Like, once you've bought it, you don't have to buy anymore. So, like, they're very, very expensive in that they're kind of hard to get, and you have to have a ton of resources to buy each one. But once you have it, you can terraform planets over and over again. So once you have one, you have enough to continue to terraform however many planets you want. The small ones, however, only terraform a small area, a sub-biome. And also something to point out is these big ones here have to be placed above ground. They can't be placed on asteroids. They can't be placed in space. They have to be put on the planet's surface. And also there is another kind of a smaller, a little bit of a limit on these things. You can't terraform ocean planets, magma planets, or poison planets. Or any planet that's all liquid, you can't terraform it. You also can't terraform asteroid biomes. So now this one's just now getting to the halfway point. We're going to see if it'll change the background. I really want you guys to see that. That's a pretty cool aspect of it. So I'm going to move my camera up just a little bit. But yeah, I love this feature. It's really cool because it allows you to get biomes at levels you're not used to ever experiencing them, you know. So I think this is going to open up a lot. I actually already have some ideas for some videos for some stuff we can actually do with these terraformers as some in-game stuff. So I'm just waiting for this thing to finish here. Again, I'm not sure how much essence it takes to terraform a whole planet, but I think it has to do with the size of the planet total. It would make sense that way. So let's see here. I want to plop one of these small terraformers down, the microformer down. There we go. So so that was the midway point. We have to get it all the way to halfway. Let's see something. Yeah, something else that's strange to point out is when you terraform a planet, you can no longer use the warp command, like the time warp. So like I use /time warp 300. Well, okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm completely wrong. It doesn't work. I'm way off. It still works and everything. I was having some issues with it earlier. I don't know. But anyways, we should be getting to that point where the background's going to change any second now. I know this is taking longer than I anticipated, but the last planet I did, it seemed I could do it in bigger increments. So any second now, this background should change to a volcanic hellscape, and we can actually move on to the really, really cool micro ones. And I like the micro ones because they give you the small sub-biomes you can't encounter on planets. So imagine if you had a bunch of these things, you could turn a planet into these, into one of these, like a slime biome. Like, there are no slime primary biomes, but if you had enough of these, you could convert an entire planet to a slime planet. So this should stop any second now. Hurry up. There it is. So yeah, as you can see, the background has changed now, and now we have this ice planet that we were on earlier is now completely ash and shit. So we're going to plop down a slimy microformer. This is one I like the most. Now the cool thing with the slime ones are they don't take any essence. They don't require anything. They are one-time use. So once you put it down, you're not picking it back up. So put it down. Oh yeah, you actually can't use these things too close to one another. So let me turn this off. Pick it back up, and now we can actually activate this thing. So it's on, and you're gonna start seeing that this biome here is gonna change. I'm gonna do a. There we go. So just so you guys can see a little better, like exactly what this stuff does. These little micro ones work a lot quicker. See. And again, it just completely changes the biome, and as you can see, it's got a pretty good range to it. So you could definitely, if you had enough of these, you could easily terraform a whole planet. But these things just don't go near as far as the large ones do, and these things don't change the weather or anything, because there really is no weather for a sub-biome, you know. But yeah, these things are completely awesome. If you try to mine them, they just break, you'll see. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. But anything else? I'm trying to think, was there anything I missed in this? Yeah, I brought up the elemental resistances and stuff like that. I brought up the different upgrades to weapons, all the different stuff. The terraforming is really cool. I guess I might do some outro or whatever. Maybe cover some. I wanna go to another one of those the vaults or whatever. I might just do a series where I go through vaults and just explore because they're really fun. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, that's gonna wrap today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.